Hey everyone, James Rolfe here. Let's take a trip back to 1994 and revisit a Super Nintendo classic, Donkey Kong Country. This game blew everyone away with its amazing graphics and challenging gameplay. Get ready to swing into action as we explore what made this game a legendary hit. Remember those clunky, pixelated graphics from other games? Donkey Kong Country said, "Nope." This game used pre-rendered 3D models, making the characters and environments look like a cartoon come to life. And the music. It was catchy, atmospheric, and made you feel like you were really in a jungle adventure. Donkey Kong Country wasn't just a pretty face, though. The gameplay was top-notch, with challenging levels, fun secrets to find, and those pesky Kremlings always trying to stop you. So grab your Super Nintendo controller and let's dive into the world of Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country wasn't Donkey Kong's first rodeo. He started as Jumpman, trying to save his girlfriend from a big ape. Later, he was tossing barrels at Mario. But Donkey Kong Country? That was something new. A company called Rare, made up of some talented British developers, took on the challenge. They wanted to modernize Donkey Kong and bring him into a new era of gaming. And boy, did they deliver. Using a technique called ACM rendering, Rare created graphics that looked like nothing else on the Super Nintendo. They even hired a company called Silicon Graphics, who usually worked on Hollywood movies, to help them out. The result? A game that looked like an interactive cartoon. Donkey Kong Country was a huge risk for Rare. They poured their hearts and souls into the project, pushing the Super Nintendo to its limits. But their hard work paid off, big time. The story of Donkey Kong Country is simple but effective. Donkey Kong, along with his trusty sidekick Diddy Kong, are guarding their precious banana hoard. But those mischievous Kremlings, led by the evil King K. Rool, have other plans. One night, the Kremlings launch a surprise attack, stealing all of Donkey Kong's bananas. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong wake up to find their banana hoard empty and the Kremlings on the run. Now, it's up to our heroes to chase down the Kremlings, reclaim their stolen bananas, and teach King K. Rool a lesson he won't forget. Throughout their adventure, Donkey and Diddy encounter a colorful cast of characters. There's Cranky Kong, the grumpy grandpa who offers advice, whether you want it or not. Funky Kong runs a flight service helping you navigate the island, and Candy Kong, well, she saves your game with a kiss. Donkey Kong Country wasn't just a graphical powerhouse, it also innovated in gameplay. It took the classic side-scrolling platforming formula and added its own unique twist. One of the most notable additions was the team-up mechanic. You could play as either Donkey Kong, the strong powerhouse, or Diddy Kong, the agile youngster. Each character had their strengths and weaknesses, adding a layer of strategy to the game. Donkey Kong could slam the ground with his powerful fists, while Diddy Kong could use his trusty peanut pop guns to attack enemies from a distance. Another innovation was the use of animal companions. Rambi the rhinoceros charged through enemies, while Expresso the ostrich allowed for high jumps and gliding. These animal buddies added variety and excitement to the gameplay. Section 5. Through Jungle and Cave. Exploring Donkey Kong Country's diverse environments. Donkey Kong Country took players on a visual journey through a variety of stunning environments. From lush jungles to dark caves, each level was brought to life with incredible detail and atmosphere. You start in the vibrant Congo jungle, swinging on vines and dodging giant spiders. Then, you delve into the mysterious caves of Monkey Mines, avoiding minecarts and battling giant bats. Each area had its unique look and feel, keeping the gameplay fresh and exciting. The environments weren't just for show, they were cleverly integrated into the gameplay. You had to use the environment to your advantage, like swinging on vines to cross gaps or using barrels to launch yourself to higher platforms. The level design was top-notch, offering a perfect balance of challenge and fun. Section 6. A feast for the senses. Graphics and sound in Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country was a landmark achievement in video game graphics. Using pre-rendered three-dimensional models, Rare created characters and environments that were unlike anything seen before on the Super Nintendo. The characters were expressive and full of life, and the environments were lush and detailed. The game's use of light and shadow was particularly impressive, giving the game a cinematic feel. But Donkey Kong Country wasn't just a visual treat, it also had an incredible soundtrack. Composed by David Wise, the music was catchy, atmospheric, and perfectly captured the mood of each level. From the upbeat jungle rhythms to the haunting melodies of the caves, the music was an integral part of the Donkey Kong Country experience. Section 7. Kremlings and Critters, the enemies of Donkey Kong Island. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong faced a whole army of enemies on their quest to reclaim their bananas. The Kremlings, King K. Rool's reptilian minions, were the main antagonists, but they weren't all mindless goons. There were Crucia, the big brutes you had to outmaneuver. Then there were the Clobber, who tossed their spiky helmets at you. And don't forget the Zingers, those pesky bees that always seemed to get in your way. But it wasn't just Kremlings you had to watch out for. Giant spiders lurked in the jungle, while giant clams snapped at you in the underwater levels. Each enemy had its unique attack patterns and weaknesses, requiring you to adapt your strategy on the fly. Section 8. Barrels and Bongos, items and weapons in Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country offered a variety of items and weapons to help you on your adventure. The most iconic item was the DK Barrel. These barrels acted as checkpoints and could be used to launch Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong into the air, allowing them to reach higher platforms. Then there were the animal companions. Rambi the rhinoceros could charge through enemies and break open secret paths. Espresso the ostrich could run at high speeds and even glide short distances, and Winky the frog could jump incredibly high and use his tongue to eat enemies. Throughout the levels, you could find bananas, which acted as a form of health. Collecting 100 bananas earned you an extra life, essential for surviving the challenging levels. You could also find banana bunches, which granted an extra life instantly. Section 9. Saving the Banana Horde, multiple endings in Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country had multiple endings depending on how many Kong letters you collected throughout the game. Collecting all the K-O-N-G letters in each level unlocked a bonus level, and completing these bonus levels was the key to achieving the best ending. If you managed to collect all the Kong letters and complete the bonus levels, you were treated to a special ending sequence where Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong defeated King K. Rool and reclaimed their entire banana horde. However, if you missed some Kong letters, you got a different ending where you only recovered a portion of your banana horde. It added a layer of replayability to the game, encouraging players to explore every nook and cranny of each level. Section 10. A Legacy of Bananas and Barrels. Donkey Kong Country's impact and enduring appeal. Donkey Kong Country was a massive critical and commercial success, selling over 9 million copies worldwide. It revitalized the Donkey Kong franchise and proved that the Super Nintendo still had plenty of life left in it. The game's impact on the gaming industry is undeniable. Its groundbreaking graphics pushed the boundaries of what was possible on 16-bit consoles, and its innovative gameplay mechanics influenced countless platformers that followed. But more importantly, Donkey Kong Country was just plain fun to play. Its tight controls, challenging levels, and catchy soundtrack made it a joy to experience. So, if you haven't already, I urge you to revisit this classic. You won't be disappointed.
Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. Until next time, may legends be born.